Every hour, thousands of ships and merchant vessels transport tons of goods across the ocean to various ports of call. In order for these vessels to reach their destinations, they need a safe route of passage. Some of us might think that piracy and armed robbery at sea is a thing of the past, but in reality they have been flourishing all these years, with numbers spiking in the last decade. In 2000, a revolutionary idea was conceptualized to help stop piracy and armed robbery on ships. The idea was not to combat it with guns or force, but through information sharing, cooperative arrangements, and capacity building. This idea and the agreement that followed became known as the Regional Cooperation Agreement on Combating Piracy and Armed Robbery Against Ships in Asia, or ReCAAP. What's ReCAAP, you might ask? ReCAAP is the first government-to-government agreement to promote and to enhance cooperation against piracy and armed robbery in Asia. You could think of it as neighbors looking out for each other and putting up a signpost to warn other neighbors of suspicious characters. To date, ReCAAP ISC has pulled together 20 such neighbors who have become ReCAAP's contracting parties. And these contracting parties are in constant contact through ReCAAP's Information Sharing Center, or ISC. The ISC functions by collecting data from all its contracting parties, partner organizations, and maritime community. These raw data is then critically analyzed and then disseminated to all relevant parties in a timely and strategic manner. How does the ISC share this information? When a piracy or armed robbery incident occurs on a vessel, the ship master will sound the alarm to alert the nearest coastal state or his shipping agency, who will in turn file an incident report with ReCAAP's information network system. ReCAAP then processes this information and alerts vessels in the region through the information network system. With this network of information, ReCAAP is able to plot a picture of the maritime environment around its designated focal points. This process of reporting and disseminating information have been successful in stemming the rise in piracy. ReCAAP also works with its partner organizations like the International Maritime Organization, or IMO, in the exchange of piracy and armed robbery information and related maritime issues. With the growing concern of the escalating situation in the Gulf of Aden and off the coast of Somalia, IMO has emulated the ReCAAP model in the formulation of the Djibouti Code of Conduct. Though outside the geographical mandate of the ReCAAP agreement, ReCAAP ISC has since worked with IMO to share best practices and has established communication linkages with the 3 regional ISCs. The situation in that area remains a concern. ReCAAP also constantly brings its contributing parties and partners together in annual conferences and dialogue sessions to increase capacity building and to share ideas and information on the current nautical environment. Forging bonds between shipping companies, national enforcement agencies, other like-minded organizations, and maritime industries is also one of ReCAAP's aims. With the aid of its contracting parties and partner organizations, ReCAAP aims to reduce the numbers of pirate and armed robbery attacks on vessels in Asia by sharing vital information with all its stakeholders. Remember to report promptly to the nearest coastal state or ReCAAP focal point. With ReCAAP, when you care to share, we share to care.